I'm happy to, but that's a bit of a hard act to follow. That was really wonderful, Mr. President. Thank you so much. And you can call me Mr. President, too, because I'm the president of IETA, which is a business group. But I want to tell you just a little bit about what our connection is, because I actually was reflecting on many of the same things about exploration. But for me, I was thinking about Maurice Strong as an explorer, and Maurice Strong as a pioneer and as a visionary. I want to tell you, like IETA, I don't know how many of you have heard of us, International Emissions Trading Association, is this little business group that believes in carbon caps. We believe in declining carbon caps, and we believe in net zero emissions. And we have 130 companies that are devoted to that and work on it every day all around the world. We've spent today, and we will spend tomorrow in this room talking about how to do that. But the goals are clear, and we don't dispute what the goals are. But what you might not know is that IETA is an organization that was a Maurice Strong idea. It grew out of an UNCTAD project back in the 1990s. I was at the Department of Energy when it started in the United States. By the time it actually reached its fever pitch, we were approaching I think it was COP4, so after Kyoto, but COP4 in Buenos Aires. And we were talking about whether a business association should spin out of this UNCTAD project. This UNCTAD project had involved dialogues with Richard Sandor at the Chicago Board of Trade, and with Maurice, and with Nobel laureate economist Ronald Coase, that actually attracted a lot of interest from negotiators on climate change. Not necessarily because it was because it was going to create a new business, but because it was a way to achieve their carbon reduction goals cheaper. So I attended those meetings as a White House official in the Clinton administration. So we got to Buenos Aires. It was a big meeting about whether IETA was actually going to be spun out of UNCTAD and whether it was going to become a thing or not. And I was asked to come to this meeting by Frank Joshua, who had sort of spearheaded this program. And I sat next to Maurice. And so Maurice said good things about it. He elbowed me, and I said good things about it. The United States would welcome this. And lo and behold, this organization spun out. 20 years later, we are hosting events still in the Explorers Club about how to achieve greater ambition. And at least two of our former chairmen are here in the room, David Hone from Shell and Jack Cogan from NatSource, and there might be others back there, but some of IETA members are in this room, because we really honor what Maurice stood for and what he brought about. So I want to just tell you just a snippet about what happened in this room today, because it turns out that it's not just a story about the past. There is some important past in this room. So this flag behind me, this flag flew on Kon-Tiki. Remember the Kon-Tiki boat? This flew on Kon-Tiki, but it also was taken by explorers all around the world in different things. Behind this screen is a flag that went to the moon. So the explorers, if you make it up the stairs to the top floor, include astronauts. And this, there is a note here that you can come and read at the end of the dinner. But a note here, by the way, I knew none of this until like 8 hours ago. Okay, I'm now an expert, right? But there's a letter here from an astronaut, James Lowell, who was on Apollo 13, who apologized because he didn't. He was not able to fly the flag on the moon because he had a technical problem he was trying to solve, like to live, right? So each of these flags has these memories around it about explorers and achievements and about human endeavor. And for us, it came across as a really inspiring thing. So I'm going to tell you 3 very quick things, and then I'm going to sit down and let you have dinner. The last explorer that spoke to us, and this really spoke to me when I heard the introduction, he's been working with the Inuit to understand the narwhal. Do you know the narwhal? Oh, is he here? Where? Here. Of course. My husband. Your husband. Where? This man, stand up. One of our explorers, and he inspired us all talking about working with the Inuit to understand the narwhal, which is the unicorn, can I say this? The unicorn of the whale industry. But fascinating, and that's part of what this is about. This is about new discovery, new learnings, and new discoveries. And you should really get a chance to say hello to Martin later. The second thing earlier in the day was Robert Swan, Sir Robert Swan, who's the first person who has walked to both poles. And he talked to us about what that human endeavor was like. But you know what he's about now? He's all about renewable energy and about climate achievement, because his goal is to make sure that we actually maintain polar ice caps and that there is still free lands to explore there. And our first explorer of the day was Bertrand Piccard, who's of course the man who is very future-oriented, who flew around the world on a solar airplane. So exploring, we're not done with it, I guess is the point. And I think Maurice would appreciate that yes, it is something. And I think President Calderon, that's what you were talking about, is we have to have that same inspiration to take us forward. So that's certainly what's been talked about in this room today. And it really is, I think, a testament to Maurice's legacy that those ideas are alive and well and moving forward. And now they're talking about not just reducing emissions by 20% by this date or stabilization by that date. It's talking about net zero as soon as we can get there. Thank you.